Alright, I'm going to deal with this guy here. I just watched this video. I realize it's pretty old. It's from 2006, but I was watching it. I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I just couldn't deal with this thing. And it was about this guy talking about the debate between atheists and theists and how neither can win the debate, and actually no one's really trying to win the debate, or they're not really making it. It's pointless, and they're not trying to really. They're just trying to win a debate, which of course that's the point of a debate, to win it, okay, and to prove the other person wrong. But they talk about each person trying to find truth, and how they're both finding truth. And understand that an atheist perspective is a materialistic perspective of the world, or a worldview, is looking for truth. They start with nothing. They say, I don't know anything. They look at evidence. They say, let's look at the evidence and let's find the truth. The theory of evolution, the theory of gravity, the theory of germ theory, all these theories didn't come into place because they said, let's have this theory, and now let's see if we can put the evidence into it. Well, they looked at the evidence and they said, based upon what we see, based upon all the experiments that we've done, based upon everything that we've done so far, here is what comes out of it. That's what finding truth is. With religion, they say, we have this 2,000-year-old book, or we have the Quran, or we have this whatever you want to have, and they say, this is the truth. Here is the truth. And then when evidence comes along, they try to pigeonhole that into how it's going to fit into their book. I'm so sick of hearing this crap about people, evolution, and Christians who believe that evolution is the mechanism that God uses to do it. It's so stupid, okay? Like, you've been kidding me. If that's the purpose, if that's what they did, then why does it say anything about evolution in the stupid Bible? I wish the scientists would just give up the freaking dogma and give up the belief and just say, you know what, it doesn't exist, okay? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the point is that it's trying to fit evidence into something and saying, I already have truth. That's what pisses atheists and pisses people off when people say, I know what it is. I know the way the universe works. I know the way it is. This is the unbelievable truth. And whatever evidence you come to show me, I'm just going to turn it and twist it and say, well, that's not true. I'm going to put it into context of myself. Or I'm just going to ignore it. Or I'm just going to talk around it. Or I'm just going to pretend. Like, we're showing you evidence and you don't want to listen to it. So that is not truth-seeking. You can't be truth-seeking if you already feel like you know the truth. Then how are you seeking it? So they're not both truth-seeking philosophies. Okay, one is searching for the truth. One is trying to justify what they already feel is the truth. So now they talk about how there's no way that a theist can convince an atheist that God exists. Yeah, there is. Here it is. I'll give you the way you do it. Have some freaking evidence, okay? One shred of evidence, right? One miracle, and I mean real miracle, not like Mary showing up in some freaking burnt toast, okay? Like a real miracle. Like I'm pretty sure God could figure it out. I'm sure God could find some way to make a miracle happen. He did it for all those freaking years. He had burning bushes all over the place, and he had locusts coming and attacking place. All these great things going on, turning people to salt. All that stuff happened, but it all happened 2,000 years ago. Now I'm not gonna do it anymore. I don't believe. No, it's been 2,000 years. Forget it. We're not gonna do it anymore. Oh, you have TVs and cameras and stuff like that? Yeah, forget that. Okay, so point is just have a shred of evidence. All right, turn the sky silver. Have all the oceans float up for a couple of minutes, and we'll start believing in some gods. All right. Other than that, don't tell me about you can't change an atheist. It's really simple. You want to change an atheist? Show a shred of evidence. One piece of freaking evidence. Pretty simple, and we'll change. Okay? Every atheist would change in a minute if there was some evidence. All right? You want to change. You want to change the theory of evolution? How about find a fossil in the wrong spot? Okay? There you go. Pretty simple. Changed. Okay? See, science changes. Science is able to say, okay, we have new evidence. There must be something wrong with our thoughts, our theories. By the way, let me just talk about theories for a second, because I know it's been said a million times on YouTube, but a theory, when I say, hey, I have a theory, I think my friend is at home. That is our term. That is not a scientific theory. A theory is as high as you get. A theory is an explanation of the facts. That's what a theory means. So they have all these facts. They say this is the theory of it. You can't prove anything. Proof's only in math, okay? And the reason why you can't prove it. You can't have a mathematical proof like 2 + 2 = 4, because those are the meaning of the word 2 and the meaning of the word 2 and the meaning of the word 4 means they can't have any other meaning. Okay, if we found some poodles in the Mesozoic layer of the Earth, then we would change the theory of evolution. But that doesn't freaking happen. Okay, that is the strongest theory we have. If things started floating off the ground, we would change the theory of gravity. But that don't happen. It's as high as it gets. So understand the difference in a theory. Also, on this dumb video, he talked about the video's not dumb, and the guy's not stupid. It's just he's just saying stupid stuff. The problem of evil. He's like, oh, well, atheists talk about the problem of evil, and then, the theist could just turn around and say, well, there's the problem of good. Why does good exist? First of all, let me explain something to you. The problem of evil is very simple. It's just saying, if you have some God who's all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-good, then there shouldn't be any evil. Evil defined by your standards, by your God, okay, who created everything, all right? So, he's got human nature. He creates humans. He doesn't want to eat apples, and then he puts the apple there, and he lets them eat it. So he created that. He created that whole scenario. He did it himself. He didn't have to put the apples there. Oh, there has to be free will. Well, he didn't give them the free will to fly, okay? He didn't give the free will to turn themselves inside out. They didn't have the free will to turn themselves into a Pegasus, all right? So that doesn't exist. So therefore, they don't have free will to do that. So then just take the freaking apples away, right? Then there you go. There's still free will. You do whatever the heck you want, just you can't eat this apple. If it's really God says don't eat the apple, he just makes the apple disappear, all right? So it's freaking dumb. Anyway, and then he turns around and like, oh, there's a problem with good. Well, the problem with good, what do you mean there's a problem with good? There's no such thing as a problem with good. If you want to say, oh, atheists can explain good, here, I'll explain good. Good happens, okay? Good doesn't exist. Good and evil, by the way, don't exist in the atheistic world, in a materialistic world. There is no good or evil. Here's a pencil. Good or evil? Just a pencil, okay? There's a meteor that's or a comet that's coming to hit Earth in 2029, all right? If it hits Earth, everyone's dead. Everyone, okay? Is the meteor good or evil? It ain't neither. It's a freaking rock. It's going through the space, and it's going to hit us, all right? So, unless we can do something about it. Thank God we're smart enough to figure things out. We got people that can do it. There's no such thing as good and evil, all right? We label things good, and we label things morals, because in order for us to survive as a species, we had to cooperate. We had to not kill each other. We had to not steal things. We had to have trust. We had to, as bonds, that's how it is. So we saw these things as good. We saw these things as helpful. So we put a word to it called good, which allowed us to survive. If you did all those things, you hurt your community, and you weren't able to survive as a primitive species. And if you weren't a part of the community, then you would die. So they said, well, this stuff's good, and this stuff ain't good. Lying ain't good, because if people don't trust you, then you can't be a part of the community. It's just how it goes, all right? So nonsense with the problem of good. Ridiculous. Anyway. There's no problem with good with atheists, all right? The last thing he talked about was emotions, how we can't prove emotions like love, all right? Well, love is just a feeling, all right? And I could prove love. I would go by evidence. Well, there is no proofs. That's another thing. So I would just go by the evidence. Say, oh, well, you can't prove that my mother loves you. Well, if I look at the evidence, and your mom takes care of you, and she gives you money, and she takes you to school, and she hugs you, and she puts the little Band-Aid on your boo-boos, and I'm going to say your mother loves you. Now, is it possible she doesn't love you? Is it possible that she's an evil demon and she's just trying to make you fat till you're 18 so she can kill you and slaughter you and eat you later on? Sure it is. But I'm not going to say that because I see all the evidence points towards love. Okay? So that's how it goes. Now, if she does something like that and kills you, I'm going to say, new evidence. She doesn't love you. She didn't really love you. She was using you. So that's the thing with science. It can change. That's what truth-seeking is. New evidence comes about, then it changes. But the theory of evolution, every single time something new came along, it was comparative analogy, DNA, embryology, fossil record, anything that came along, it still proved it right. There was 100 ways for it to be wrong, and every single time it lines up the right way. So therefore, the theory stands. Okay? So pretty simple. So does your mother love you? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know your mom. All right, but pretty simple. So just to boil it down, you can change an atheist's mind. Sure. You want to change an atheist's mind, theist? Show some evidence. That's it. That's all you do. Find a little evidence. Give a little God. Don't give us this book. I can write a book. I can write Harry Potter. Here's a book. Okay. Books don't prove nothing. All right. So just because somebody wrote it in, a word of man was written down, and 8 million different people interpret it different ways, that ain't proof. That's a book. Okay, written 2,000 years ago by people who all got the story different. I've read the Bible. It's all different every single time. So what the heck is that? That's not proof. So show some evidence. Shred evidence. Get a poodle in the wrong spot. That's it. Just find one. That's all you gotta do, okay? So yes, can you convince an atheist? Sure, show some evidence. Can I convince a theist? Very simple to convince a theist, by the way. That's why we have these debates. Because there are a lot of atheists who were theists, okay? And it's very simple to convince theists. All you gotta do is get them to start thinking.